Hey everyone, it's Chris from Seals Reptiles, and I would like to announce my highly anticipated litter for the 2025 season, my Pearl Island Boas. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, I have my litter of Pearl Island Boas. Excuse the mess. When snakes shed, they tend to do it while pooping as well. And here we can see a close-up of 10 perfect babies, no stillborns or slugs in litter, which I'm super excited about. So after the 7 to 10 days where the babies take time to absorb their yolk and go through shed, this is the time where I sex them and separate them soon after. So here you could see me palpating for hemipenes. Usually basically I'm pressing gently at the cloaca, rolling my thumb down, feeling for a hemipenal bulge. If I do feel that bulge, then it is a boy. If I don't, then it's a girl. This one's a girl. And after sexing, I put the snake under a light box so that you, the viewer, can see a better view of the animal. As you can see, a lot of these babies look pretty similar to each other with some variation. Usually the base color is a light creamy to gray-brown coloration with very reduced saddles or nearly no saddles, with a lot of side pattern that looks like kind of like pied bolism or calico, to be honest, which is really cool in this locality, as well as a lot of orange patterning on the sides. I think this one's a girl. So Pearl Island Boas are usually really active, but this girl's proving me wrong, but I don't mind it for the shot, for sure. So just to recap, these babies were born on June 16th, 2025. The first ovulation that I noticed from my female Medusa was around January 27th. So the babies took a little bit in between 4 to 5 months. So if you are planning on breeding boas, know that it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. I was able to get this estimate date of the first ovulation just going through old messages with my old manager, Riley. So Riley, if you're listening to this, thank you. I appreciate you for helping me through this process and guiding me along the way. Also, you might see me palpate a snake multiple times throughout this video. This is just to make sure that I'm sexing the snake correctly so I don't sell these snakes as mislabeled genders. Also, it's been a while since I've palpated a baby snake before. And some might ask, does this hurt the snake? Palpating doesn't hurt the snake. It might give it some discomfort, but honestly, the snake is more worried about running away from me because they think I'm a predator than what I'm actually doing to the snake. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. So another question you might be asking is, what am I housing the snakes in? So I am housing the baby snakes after sexing them into 6-quart tubs, so shoebox tubs, in the rack to the left of me. You can see in the background. And I'm putting paper towel, water bowl hide, keeping it simple, setting the heat tape, say 85 degrees, hot spot. And I'm doing this for 2 main reasons. The first one is I need to make sure that they're eating, and I can tell if they're eating, if they're pooping. Finding feces in a naturalistic substrate is going to be a little bit harder than finding it in paper towel. Also, if there's any regurg or anything like that, it's a lot easier if it's on paper towel. Second, these snakes are pretty much temporary in my care. Most of these snakes I'm going to be selling off to new homes, to forever homes, hopefully, to pet keepers, to locality hobbyists, to breeders, etc. Realistically, I should be only keeping a pair for myself, and that pair obviously is going to stay longer, and I'll be upgrading them to larger tubs, larger tanks, etc. So again, the shoebox tubs are meant to be temporary since most of these snakes are meant for new homes. Another question that you might be asking is, well, why Pearl Island Boas? Out of all the snakes I could have bred, could have worked with. Why did I choose the Pearl Island boa? Well, early in my reptile keeping, I quickly realized that ball pythons were just not for me. And fun fact, the very first snake that ever bit me was a ball python, so I was like quickly dismayed by that. Um, Working at this local reptile store up in Sacramento, I also got to work with not just ball pythons, but Central American boas. While we did keep mainly Central American wharf boas, I still thought they were pretty cool. And then I dug even deeper into the boa rabbit hole and found whole different new localities. Shout out to the More Complete Boa Constrictor book by Vin Russo. That was like my first like gateway to locality boas. And out of all the boas that were from that book, the Hog Islands, the Amaralai, the Crawl Key, the Cocker Key, the Pearl Island boas caught out to my eyes. And doing even more researching those on YouTube, seeing Brian Boa's channel, seeing other people's channels on Pearl Island boas. I quickly got hooked. I really liked their head shape is a little bit more different from the other boas, a little bit more narrow. Really cool slate gray head, super narrow body shape compared to the other boas. The other boa constrictors, a lot more built for the trees. I liked how the color palette, it was something that I really liked. The light creams with the orange patterning, the reduced saddles, everything about the locality was just something that I wanted to keep and eventually wanted to breed. Looks like a boy. Yep. So what's my end goal with this breeding program? I have two. The first goal is to connect the orange patterning on the sides to make the cleanest striped saboge as possible. You can kind of see the striping towards the end of the tail on this animal already. My other goal is to have the lightest colored Pearl Island boas. Um, as you can see, some of these a little bit darker than others. I'll show you the parents real soon, but you'll notice that mom is a lot darker than the dad. My goal is to produce, and one of my goals is to produce animals that look closer to dad, if not better. Another boy. So this is Percy, the father of the litter. He is a male Pearl Island boa produced by Brian's Boas. He's about 3 years old from Brian's Vin Russo to Vin Russo pairing. And as you can see, his base color is like this rich, creamy brown coloration with really nice orange tail saddles. And you can kind of see the slate gray head on this animal too. Really pretty. A beautiful example of one of the goals I want to reach for this breeding program. And this is the mother of the litter, Medusa. She is a female Pearl Island boa that's about 5 years old, produced by Brandon Dowell of Galactic Boas. And as you can see, she's really deep in shed, and she is a lot skinnier than she was before she was housing all those baby boas in her belly. So I didn't hold her for that long. Shortly after recording, I fed her a frozen thawed large rat. But as you can see, even though she's deep in shed, she's a lot darker than Percy. And the goal with the breeding program, as I said earlier, is to get a lot lighter babies in the future. And as you can see from both parents, they love to move around, especially Medusa. So if you do plan on getting a Pearl Island boa, expect them to behave something like this. I have a 6.4 liter of the Pearl Island Boas, so that's 6 males, 4 females. My plans for the litter, I plan on keeping a pair for myself. So that's 1 male, 1 female. This is one of the males right here with some really nice striping. I'm not sure if he's going to be the holdback or not. Right there, look at that striping on the tail. Super cool. And then I'll have 3 pairs that I'll be interested in selling once they are established, making sure that they're eating either live or frozen thawed and that they're shedding. And I'll also have 2 lone males I'll also be listing up once they are established. So if you are looking for a pet or want to complete a breeding project, like if you already have a female but you need a male, the lone males are probably the best candidate for you. If you want to start a breeding project where then the pairs would be your best option. I don't anticipate listing them until probably around fall time. I'm super stoked with the litter. I'm super blessed that I'm able to reproduce such a really cool locality boa, a really cool subspecies. But yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate everyone watching, and till next time.